Hello, Internet. James Allen from Out of 8, and today I'm playing City Management Simulation Tropico 6. Game is obviously a sequel to Tropico 5, adds a couple new features, most notably the ability to have archipelagos in your island nation, which adds a lot of visual flair and then also kind of separates things a little bit amongst your nation. The game also includes a lot more buildings and improved interface, and also has mass transit, although it's kind of limited in those features, plus some other things I will talk about while we play. Game has a set of missions, which doesn't really follow a campaign story, but it does have different eras that you start in during the game, and it gives you different challenges in each of those eras that you have to go after. Personally, I'm more about a sandbox player. There's also online competitive multiplayer, which is pretty interesting. And you can also customize your character, although the customization options are pretty limited. You don't have a bunch of different traits or a familial lineage to worry about like you did in Tropico 5. So, you can customize your outlook. You only pick one of the traits there, customize your palace, and then that's it. Those are the only options you get there. So fairly limited in that portion of the game. So I'm going to start a new sandbox game. The game does have a random map generator, which is what I usually use. There's also a bunch of other maps that you can play with. You can customize how big the area is. I'm going to do... we'll do a huge map just to show that off. We'll do some islands. I'll give me a... medium is fine. Normal there. I'll generate a random seed. I'm going to actually start in the World War area so I can show off more of the game features instead of having to go through colonial, although I always start in the colonial era because it gives you kind of a good beginning. I'm also going to increase my starting money so I can kind of show off a little bit more there. And we'll just kind of keep these on the things. You can also set victory once you get a certain amount of money or any of these other things here. Or just kind of play forever, which is what I'll do. I'll turn disasters off. I don't want to have to mess with those. We'll start the map. It takes a little bit of time for it to generate the new random map, but the random maps are nice. They don't look quite as good as the handcrafted maps that the game comes with, but you do have the advantage of randomized resource distribution, which really kind of tailors how you do really your game overall, because what resources you have available kind of determines what you specialize in and what you're going to export to the different nations and stuff. Overall, obviously, the game is in the Tropico series, so the basics of the game remain the same, but I'll touch on the differences here as we go on. So I'll pause the game. You start out with your construction office to build things, your teamster's office, couple of a ranch right there to produce food so you're not starving to begin with, some basic houses, and then a lot of people don't have any houses to begin with. So first thing I usually do, and we'll take a look at my thing, this is a pretty interesting nation here again. In order to get between the islands, you can either build bridges if it's close, or you can have docks in order for them to progress between those. So actually probably first thing I need to do is connect my my dock with my city there. The roads automatically curve, which can get you into trouble a little bit when you start building some things. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to find out where my resource locations are so I don't accidentally build on top of them. So I have a pretty limited area here to start with, so I'm going to kind of have two halves, I think, based on when things are. You have all these different overlays here, which are very useful later on to find problems. I do have a gold and a coal, which is good. So I will actually build those first. So let me go to my food and resources, and we'll build the two mines. We have the gold mine here. Use the mouse wheel to rotate, or you can press the R button and plop that down. And then I will also build the one for the coal resource here. All right, let's see what else we got. So that is it for those. You can also have the different crops here. Corn, sugar, and so on. I'll probably end up building one per thing here. And then also some ranches are good. So let me build some corn over in this area. It shows you the efficiency, which sometimes doesn't actually have a lot to do with the green. Like you can see here, it's all green, but it's only 50% efficiency, which is interesting. But over here, it's 89, even though it's kind of in the yellow. So I'm going to do that there. I will worry about connecting things later. I have some bananas. I think I saw a 94 in there. We'll do pineapples. If it's... No, that's not good enough. Sugar. Got a lot of sugar area. 97% efficiency. Maybe do a couple sugars, if it'll fit. We'll leave room in there for the road. Alright. So that's going to basically mean I'm going to start doing rum distillery because that processes sugar for rum, and then I can export that. Let me build my road out a little bit. Can I get this to both? Just so I don't forget to build my roads. Oh, it's not going to let me do it in that little thing. Dang it. That's what's a little bit annoying about these roads is that... Ugh, that's annoying. They have to be a minimum length. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do at all. I don't remember what I put there. Well, let me build the road first. Yeah, and it won't let you connect it like that close to it, which is annoying. Alright, well, at least that's connected. What is this? Sugar? I think that was the corn. Yeah, that was. Alright, so let's redo that. %. Yeah, it's not even worth doing it right there. But I can do a ranch. I need some pigs. 14%, jeez. 0%. It's because this thing destroyed itself, which was dumb. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for that to disappear. Gotcha. Constitution. I'm gonna allow everybody to vote, and I'm gonna do militia. You can actually disable military buildings, which is interesting. I gotta wait for this thing to disappear. There it goes. Alright, so now I can actually build stuff. Alright, so let's go back. Try to do that corn again, if it'll let me. 85. Alright, there's the corn. Alright, what else we got? Cocoa. Is not great. Tobacco is more over here, so I'll actually probably expand out and do that later. Same with coffee, it's all down in that area. I think I got a pretty decent start. Let me look, see if I can do any more ranches. Pig. Do some goats for milk. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, that's a good start. So we will queue all that up. While that's going, I have to start build housing. So in this area here, I basically have apartments, which is for people that work in factories, and then the bunk houses for people that don't. Since I don't have any factories up yet, I'm going to do bunk houses here. So I'm going to hold down shift to kind of queue a bunch of these up. You kind of need one per building, I would say. There we go. Alright. That is a ton of stuff. So we're just going to wait for all that to build. Oh yeah, I didn't do the road here. Oh, something else isn't connected either. Did I just forget roads apparently? I think that's everything. So I'll wait for all this to go and then I'll kind of figure out what I want to build next. While that's going, you have the Almanac here, which shows you a bunch of stuff. Shows you how many homeless and unemployed citizens there are, so I'm going to have to build some more things. Shows you your overall happiness and what you have the lowest happiness in, which is useful. So I need to build some fun stuff, which will employ some more people. And then the different factions, which will send you a bunch of missions over time. And then how you're related to superpowers. Eventually I'm going to build some embassies so I can bring them in. And actually might export that coal. Then I have a coal. I think I had a coal mine. Let me see. If you go to the Almanac, it has the building list so you can see. Nope, I just have the gold. Oh, the other one isn't built yet, that's why. So, what the trade routes do is they give you more money. And I'll actually buy a second one. More money for basically the same things. It gives you a... And then you got a higher percentage if you have better relations with them. So we need to wait for all this stuff to kind of get going. Yeah, there's my coal mine. I find it useful to write down what I build, because I forget in order to export things, and I wish there was a little indication here about which things you actually currently produce, so you didn't have to kind of go back and remember what else you get. So we're going to wait for all this. That's just a house. This is a goat ranch. And then I'm going to write down what all my things are once they're finished building. These are all just houses, though, so I think I can do that in a little bit. Nothing's like one thing away. Yep. So I got to ally with one of the superpowers in order to progress on to the next era in the game, which basically just unlocks a bunch more stuff for you to build.
Everyone has to do their bit for the war.
Yeah, I'll do that. If you don't accept their missions, you get worse relations with them. Alright, come on guys, hurry up. Yeah, we'll add more positions there. We need more people. I will not do that. Come on, build the stuff. Gosh. There you go. Alright. Let's see what I have. I have... Play that while I'm looking. I have bananas, 2 sugars, and corn. This is me writing it down. I have 1 cattle and 2 goats. Cattle give you meat and hides. Goats give you milk. And I have a gold and a coal mine. Alright. So now that that basic start is ready to go, now I need to start taking care of needs. So if you go to the overlays here, my fun quality is red because I haven't built any fun things yet. So if you go to the construction menu and go to entertainment, the most basic option you can do is the tavern, which is what I will do. I'll do a tavern over here. I'll do a tavern over here. And I'll do a tavern over there. That should help that. In addition to fun stuff, you also need to do a library. In order to do research, I will build a library. I will also do a chapel in order to bring up my religion. And I will also do a grocery store so they can buy food. I will put that somewhere. That's good. Alright. And I also need, in the government tab, I need 2 embassies. You have to buy these blueprints to begin with. So I will build an embassy for the Axis and one for the Allies. And let me build a road out to there. Not that you need it. Some buildings need roads and some don't. So you can really kind of stack up buildings behind each other, especially residential and some of the service buildings. Actually, could use another construction thing, although they're kind of building pretty quickly. Oh yeah, I need to figure out what I want to do here. What do I want to do here? Can do hides. So let's do that. And because of the cattle, can do sugar. Although I actually kind of want to manufacture that sugar, so. I know, I'm getting to things. Right. Ugh, what did I just do? No, I don't want to do professional soldiers. I don't have the tech for that. Now this guy, the broker gives you missions, which gives you Swiss bank account money, which you can use on different attributes here, like improving standings or unlocking different research buildings and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. It's like another avenue of doing stuff with that. Alright, so let's invite the allies. And then once the other one goes up, then we'll invite the Axis. My other one up? There you go, Axis. There you go. Alright, so now they're both invited. I can go in and praise and send a delegation and do the same thing with the other guys, and that basically brings up their ratings, and then will give you better deals here in the trade routes. All right, so now that that's done, I have a couple of missions here. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that too. All right. I do like all the little missions that they give you, and as you go further in the game, I've had like 20 missions at once, which is pretty interesting. So only 6 homeless and 2 unemployed, so that's actually pretty good. My fun is extremely low, but all my taverns just kind of finished. And that's the only fun that I have. Now, let's see what else I can build. Let's start doing some industry. So I can do a rum distillery because I have sugar, so I will build that. Where is my sugar? No, it's over here, I think. Yep. So we'll kind of build it pretty close so they don't have to transport it very good. So there goes that. So now I will start making rum. So I'll write that down. Tannery, because I can turn hides into leather, so I will do that. Over in this vicinity. Maybe leave room for a road, so I don't box myself in. So I will also have leather I can export. Not really much else I can do. I don't have pineapples yet. I have milk. I could do a creamery to make cheese. If it's worth 15,000 for that. I don't know if it really is or not. You make most of your money, even in the late game, you make most of your money from exports. Which is, kind of how you want to do that. So I might do this creamery. I don't have any tobacco yet. I don't have any... I'm not doing wood. I don't have iron, so I can't do steel, which is why I didn't do that Swiss bank thing. I don't have that either. I don't have steel or nickel. So really the only other thing I can do is the creamery, so I think I'm going to buy that and build it. Anyway. Can't build it that close. Alright, so we'll do the creamery there, and we need to build this road out. And then build this road out. Alright, so cheese, rum, leather, and cheese will be my exports. Now I can start making some more fun things. You notice each of these has a income requirement. The botanical garden doesn't. So I might actually buy that. Let's stick that over here. Should probably bring this road around. There we go. Little loop. This is like a really narrow island. I have to expand out pretty quickly on here. Alright. Next thing to build. Raids. So let's go to the Raids tab. You can build military buildings like guard towers or forts if you're worried about invaders. I'm going to build my Pirate Cove, which will unlock raiding. And I'll actually also build the next building for raids, which is the Commando Garrison, assuming I can afford it, which I can because I started with a bunch of money. I'm actually going to kind of put that in the same spot. There we go. Alright, so let's wait for this stuff to get built. Research points are used to unlock new things for your constitution, different edicts, and then also alternative modes for your buildings. So let me go back to the colonial ones and see if there's anything that I want. I don't want that. There's not really much good here, to be honest. I'll do the library one. And then let's do... I mean, this is going to take forever to do those. Let's do the audience. Well, let's not do the audience yet, actually. Don't know my left click from my right click. Actually, I might do the labor policy anyway. Alright, so that library work mode is up, so if I find my library... One thing I wish when you research something, there's nothing to click on. I wish it would bring up the building that it's for. I will buy the academic department. Alright, so again, we're waiting for stuff to get built. My sugar thing is done. It says they want me to do an import route. So I think I may do that with the allies. What do I want from you? I'll get some logs from you. Not that I need them. Something that I actually need. All you have is logs. That's fantastic. Allies I can praise. Or ask for financial aid. I don't really need to do that. Alright, so they want a barracks near the embassy, which is fine. I can do that. Now I gotta remember which one it is. Which one is yours? That one. Barracks. It's probably gonna be too big. Oh, nope, fits right in there. Let's squeeze it right back here. There we go. And then they want a radio station, but I believe the radio station requires power. So, once you get into Cold War, you can do tourist stuff, which is a good way of bringing in extra money. I always forget where the radio station is. Right? Yeah, it uses 10 power, so you got to do a power plant with that. Now, I do have coal, do I not? So I can get a power plant going, which... What did I do? Oh my gosh, I'm stupid. That's cool. Well, sorry, Chapel, you gotta go away. The pressure's on making the video and I'm messing up building placement, for goodness sake. Alright, let's redo that Chapel thing. Alright. Yeah, radio station near embassy. I don't even know. I mean, eventually I'm going to have power. I don't really know if I want it yet. I really need to wait for this stuff to get built and then check what I need. I will do the rescue raid. Because I need some more people. These guys need hides. Alright, there's my little pirate cove. There's my commando garrison. I still got to build that barracks, which we're doing right now. Creamery needs more milk. I really need more milk and more hides. So actually we'll probably build those. Do some sheep. 32. That's not great. $84. There's a 93. I saw it. 91. Alright.
Good job there, President.
I will take that. And goat. Yeah, the goats are not over there, so... Build a couple of those. 4 more milk, and the wool is just nice to have. Build a couple of bunkhouses for y'all. Alright.
Remember the story of the man who built...
Alright. Now, what do I want to do next? I have no raid points. I think because I don't have... Yeah, I don't have anybody like working there. Yeah, healthcare now is low. Doesn't surprise me because I don't have any healthcare up. So let's do the clinic. Now let's see where the healthcare quality. I want to see. Basically, I want to see where my things are. I need to build some houses for these people. See where all my residential buildings are, so I know where to place this. All right, what are you people? They are well off, so I could do an apartment, which I will unlock. I just got to squeeze it in somewhere. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, I just need more people. That's why I need to do this rescue thing. Rescue many. So I'm going to add that to the queue. Actually, I can start doing that now. Almost. How much is it? 2,000. Yeah, it's at 573. So with the raids you have, it's basically just choose something and then you just wait for the points to accumulate. You can get resources, rescue people, get treasure, or bring in a landmark, which just gives you a bonus based on which one it is. Same thing with the commando garrisons, sorta. You can sabotage the different factions, or just get blueprints or money, or take a landmark. In the Spy Academy, you can take blueprints and stuff, and it's a lot of the same stuff. Get fantasy reviews for your island. My approval rating is extremely low, so I kind of need to focus on fixing that. It's at 31%. Would certainly vote for me in the next election, which is not very good.
Presidente, I am inspired.
Yeah, I will. I actually do need another Teamster's office. I will build that. There we go. Alright, what are your issues, people? Healthcare is what's super low, because it hasn't been built yet. Oh, there goes my logs that I didn't really need. Alright, what can I export? I can do bananas. So let's do that.
Good shit. No,
I will take 10 immigrants, please. So I need people. So I have 0 unemployed citizens. I have 10 homeless ones. So let me see where those are at. So if I go to residential and look where the shacks are, I can see where they're at. Over here. Kind of a couple over here. Let's see what these guys are about. They're actually well off. I could do a... That one's poor, though. Let's do... Let's just do a bunkhouse. Building the apartments in the middle. Once those get filled up, that'll work. Don't have a rebel threat. Almost burned through all my money, though.
Fact or fiction? Tropican scientists say, we don't understand the physics. Palace says, try harder.
There, I got this one up. That filled up real quick. That one filled up real quick. Look at that. So now I'm down to 2 homeless citizens. So that should be fixed. I do need a doctor for my health thing. Oh, there you go.
It is a great day for our comrades.
I will increase their standing. And it went up to 61. Well, that made a big difference. Alright. Now then. What next? Yeah, I don't really have anything I want to do there. Allies, I have 100%. Let's try to request an alliance with them.
Need your help, Presidente.
So we will sabotage the Axis. So that is a commando garrison thing. So once you do that 4 times, you kind of get that ready to go. So
Now, I don't want to alarm you, but
wealth
I'm going to need a rather
tax.
prompt decision on these offers.
Let's unlock another spot. Alright, so healthcare is still low, not surprising. After that is faith, also not surprising. So let's see. Faith quality. Obviously this building is very crowded, so I need to build another church. Actually need to build a church. So we will do that. If I can find room for it. Right there. Alright. So pretty good shape considering. Making about $10,000 in exports every couple weeks. The next thing, I actually will probably develop this end of the island here. I need to figure out what there is. Actually, we'll just abandon that. I'm not going to build that radio station yet. I don't want to invest in electricity yet. I don't really need it. Too much. Other buildings and stuff. These are the world wonders you can take during the raids. There's also decorations which add parks. Sometimes they'll ask for those. You can do a bank which will generate interest on how much money you have, which is pretty interesting. Again, like I said, there's a lot of buildings to go from. You can go military heavy, which is cool. And basically piss off everybody and have them try to invade you instead of fulfilling all their promises. Different public services. Again, these grayed out ones will unlock in the next era. So I like how they kind of unlock stuff a little bit at a time. I should actually build a high... This is 25,000. A high school, but I don't necessarily need that yet. I think I might do a theater, though, if I need it. Let's see. Fun quality. Yeah, it's a little bit low here for the apartment. 17.5. All my fun stuff is basically filled up. So I could use another fun thing. So let's do a theater. And of course that thing is like right in the way, so I can't put it there. It's like this island is just not enough room. There, it's fine. Faith quality is obviously it's bad over here because I don't have anything. So we'll build another church behind their little houses. Healthcare is basically nothing. So I can use another clinic. Probably another clinic down here too, to be honest. And food could also be better. Another grocery. Gonna fit it right there. Why is it not connected to the road? Because it's right next to it, apparently. But in the areas that... Okay, whatever. I'm not going to worry about that too much.
I knew I could count on you to do the right
I will
thing.
take the religious standing. Alright, let's build stuff. I don't think there's anything over here. Huh, there's oil here. That's cool. Can I actually get at that? I can. I'm lucky. See, that's why you gotta look. So I'll get that oil going. Alright, so let's do some crops over in this area. Cotton, not particularly good. Coffee I can do. We can do a lot of coffee. Oh, come on. You're gonna be dumb again. Like, seriously, let me place it. Let's see what else we can do. We can do tobacco for cigars. Yeah, we can. We'll do that. Well, actually, let me see. What do we want to do? Coffee. I don't even want cigars. So really, you kind of need to look at your trade offers to see what they want to kind of go after. They do want tobacco, so let's go coffee, tobacco. Yeah, where's the tobacco at? Basically same area. Actually, yeah, basically same area. Coffee, though, is on the other side of the road, so we'll probably do that. 41. Alright, tobacco. And we need to get a cigar factory up, I think. And get one more. And then I need to start worrying about money, I think. Alright, so, yeah. Cigar Factory. I will actually not really afford that, so, but I will build that once I get the money for it. Alright, so there's all that. There's my money. So we'll put that puppy right next to Tobacco Land. And then I will need to house up this area here. What do they want? Still sabotage the axis? Let me do a treasure hunt. You can have each of the little buildings do one thing at a time, so they will both do their things simultaneously. But I won't be generating any raid points, so that's the trade-off there. Alright, so let's wait for this. This'll... basically, in between these two fields is where I'm going to build, once I get money, build apartments and mostly bunkhouses, I think, and then all my little services for them. Once I get those up. Yeah, only 5 unemployed. Pretty good balance. I do want to do... Let me write down what I got. I made coffee and tobacco and cigars. So we can export those.
I came to see you as soon as I found these.
Yeah, I can't do that. We will produce coal. Police station, I will accept that because I do actually need a police station. Alright, still need some housing. Once I get some money in. Here he comes. Oh, there you go, 14,000. Alright, so let's pause. So I can build some stuff before my money disappears. So let's build an apartment over here by the factory. And then a couple bunkhouses. And then I need to build some fun. Yeah. I think I need some housing over here. Most of these guys are probably poor, I'd imagine. I think I built a clinic, but I haven't built any taverns or anything yet. That's stupid curved road. Alright. That's good for right now.
Flying cars the future? Only if Tropico can win the war. So remember, if you want flying cars, be vigilant and buy war bonds.
I did do the labor policy. I could actually do this. So let's do early retirement. Alright, how we doing? 8 homeless, 0 unemployed. That's good. The fun is still the lowest thing, but I'm at 93% support, so that's really a non-issue right now.
Making stuff is good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll accept that. I don't even know if I'm making... I think I am making wool. Huh. I say as the number climbs.
A few opportunities came up.
Oh, I do want that. Thank you. Police station. I need that. Speaking of, when I get some more money, I'll build a police station. So, pretty good little town in here. No, I'm not doing prohibition. Get out of here. Each of these buildings has an upgrade usually. And then you can also have different work modes that you research, which kind of adjust that. You can also change the budget. You can control-click change the budget for each one, which increases the job quality and stuff.
All done? Wonderful.
Thanks. How are these doing? Oh, I'm not even doing anything. Sabotage, access, please. So, pretty good start, I'd say, to this island. I will deliver an amazing speech. Here's the speech thing. So you can acknowledge your issue so it doesn't affect housing. Because I have homeless people. Praise a faction and bring their ratings up. Blame a superpower, which I'll blame the Axis because I have bad relations with them anyway. And you can do a promise, which after the election, you can increase, that. And actually, well, I will do crime safety because I know I'm going to build the police station. So, and giving a good speech instantly brings your ratings up, and then it'll go higher after that. So I'm giving my speech on top of the, palace. Got my wool. So, there you go. Let me, actually, I will show you one of the other games I've been doing, which is fairly far along. A little bit more developed. Just to show you kind of what it looks like when you get to the last era in the game. As soon as it loads up. With a lot of exports and everything. I found that the game isn't necessarily difficult, but I have been ousted as El Presidente a number of times because I just ignore issues for too long. This particular island right here has actually been really good. Don't let the minus 1,000 money fool you. I'm actually doing way better than that. I do have a little bit of power shortage. So what I had here, this is kind of the main island with a nuclear power plant because there was a uranium thing over here. This ship is going to bring in a bunch of money. This is my little tourist island. So I have a bunch of hotels and fun things like opera houses and beach resorts and the pier over here, and then everybody kind of boats over, and this is a little snorkel bay. And then an airport that they can come in on. And a roller coaster. And then this island is kind of my... they brought in 19 people and 34 left on the plane. And this is kind of my, my main island where I have some modern apartments and stuff like that. TV station. So lots of different buildings there. And this game is fairly good. I have 1,400 people. I lose a lot of money, but I'm actually making more money than my expenses are. If you look at my... and it's all exporting. Like, exporting is half of my income. The other part of it is rental on housing. Which you can increase if you want. Now, my coal ran out on here, so I actually had to switch to renewable resources, so I have a couple solar power plants. Because the resources are finite. You will run out of resources eventually. So this uranium mine will eventually run out of uranium, and then I don't know when I'm gonna have to destroy the nuclear power plant, essentially. But I just wanted you to look at this island here. I did have a mine over here, which again got ran out of resources. There was coal here that I used up all of. And then the coal, I also had coal on the main island over here that ran out, or iron actually, that ran out. So, but there you go. It's Tropico 6. I like it. I like the Tropico series in general because it takes what's nice about a city builder and adds in a really nice theme. I love the Caribbean setting here. And then also has all these, I really like the missions for the different factions that you have here, like the conservatives wanting to build a cabaret, and you'll give me money when that happens. It really accentuates, the common city builder in the vein of SimCity or, City Skylines. There's my drone command. Yeah, I'll take the standing, actually. Tropico 6 doesn't offer a lot of groundbreaking features compared to Tropico 5. The main one that you can tell is the archipelagos here. Everything's on a different island, which doesn't really make it. There's my 62,000 in a freighter. That's, why I'm not really worried about money too much. The archipelagos doesn't really affect the gameplay too much, but it does restrict your building a little bit. And I think it's way more interesting when you are restricted here. You can see my little tourist area. Looks really nice, and the graphics in the game are really good. But I think it makes it look more Caribbean when you have it split up over different islands. There's a lot more buildings you can build in the game. All the traffic stuff there. I didn't even show off mass transit, because you can build tunnels, metro stations, which go between one metro station and another one. With bus garages, it only comes with 2 stops, though, so it's a little bit limited there. The renewable power, all the different types of food you can get with the plantations, which you can then turn into factories, which decreases the amount of workers there, but increases the efficiency. All the different types of things you can build in industry, all the way from simple things like lumber all the way up to pharmaceuticals, which you can, process oil if you have that. And a lot of these things are determined by what resources you have on your island, which is why I like the random maps to have that. Different residential things, all the way up to, skyscraper apartments and mansions and stuff. Different types of entertainment, both cheap and more general accessible, like stadiums and the circuses, all the way up to museums and gourmet restaurants and stuff like that. The education and research things, radio stations, which you can use to broadcast propaganda to make people align with whatever view you prefer. All this stuff for tourists here, which is really nifty. Churches and clinics, fire stations, garbage dumps. The different rating stuff that I showed off earlier, the government buildings for embassies, and then just decorations, and then the world wonders you can do. I actually stole the Taj Mahal. I haven't actually placed it in this game. The raids, it's not really much depth here. You really just click on something, and then it seems like, all right, here I'm rescuing people and stealing the Great Sphinx in the castle. Which is interesting. So it's not like, a huge landmark thing, but it does give you one other thing to worry about. The research has been revamped, as we saw, where you just unlock new constitutional ideas and edicts and different building modes for your buildings. And then you have different trade you got to worry about. The percentage that you get is determined by what your relationships with them. Since I'm more aligned with China and the U.S., those give me the higher percentage of benefits going with them. You also have the broker, where he gives you little missions which you can use to unlock buildings or improve relations with the different factions in the game, which is pretty interesting. Another roller coaster. And then you also have the interfaces here, which shows, this game I have a lot of unemployed and homeless people. The population immigration is a little bit outpacing what I'm building here. Industrialists hate me with this one neat trick. And then, you can see at a pretty good glance what people want, and then you can kind of drill down and see, detail from there. The people has a lot of detail there, so you can click on anybody. You can follow them around. You can see how their family is and click on their family. See what their ratings are and what their recent thoughts are. And it tracks all that individually as they walk around your city, which is pretty cool. And then all the overlays, especially the quality ones, are very useful in determining healthcare quality is very low there at that apartment. In determining what you need to build to fulfill the needs of your citizens. So, while there isn't really that much different from Tropico 5, this is the most polished, finished, stable, complete version of Tropico that there is available. And I think that while a lot of people will argue that some of the depth from 4 and 5 were removed because all of the rent is just really a global single trigger as to how much things cost and how much people get paid. So it really kind of stratifies your classes based on what job they have. All your farmers are going to be poor. All your factory workers are going to be well off or better, and your tourists will be rich, and so on. But I think that's a relatively minor complaint about that. And overall, I think that Tropico 6 is... I've sunk a disturbingly large amount of hours in it during the review period. And I think that if you like city builders, that's a little bit more interesting than your classic just plop a bunch of buildings down and watch it go. I got the castle too. Then I think this is one that you'll definitely want to take a look at. And I think it does improve upon the previous games in the series, and those fans of previous Tropico games, I think, won't be disappointed with this latest entry. That's all I have for today. Till next time, bye now.